The planet was silent. A red sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across jagged rocks. The air shimmered with heat, and the ground was littered with strange crystal shards that glowed faintly beneath the dust. The human exploration team moved carefully, their boots sinking into the soft ground. Every step echoed as if the world itself was hollow. Captain Elias stood at the front, his visor reflecting the ruins ahead. Massive stone towers rose from the earth, cracked and broken, yet still reaching toward the sky. Vines of metallic roots wrapped around the pillars, glowing faintly with energy. It was a sight no one expected. "This place is older than anything we've seen," whispered Dr. Marin, the archaeologist of the team. Her voice trembled with awe. "Look at the carvings. The design is alien, but—" "No, this cannot be right," Elias frowned. "What do you mean?" Marin brushed the dust from the nearest wall. Her fingers traced strange symbols etched into the stone. At first glance they seemed alien, but beneath the odd shapes was something familiar. Letters, curves, patterns. They matched the earliest forms of human writing. The soldiers behind them muttered nervously. "That's impossible. Humans never came here. This world is light years from Earth." Yet the evidence stood clear before them. The ruins were alive with faint energy, and the symbols were not just decoration. They told a story. As the team moved deeper, the ground rumbled softly. Dust fell from cracks in the ceiling. The ruins seemed to breathe. The air grew heavier. Every shadow stretched long and deep, as if watching them, one of the alien allies, a tall reptilian named Varric, hissed low in his throat. "We should not be here. These places are cursed. They belong to the ancients. Leave now before we wake what sleeps." But Elias shook his head. "We came for answers, and now we've found something. We don't turn back at the first whisper of fear." The deeper they walked, the stranger it became. Hallways stretched far longer than they should. Light flickered across walls where no light source existed. The carvings glowed faintly when humans approached, but dimmed when the aliens drew near. It was as if the ruins recognized them. Marin's eyes widened. "It responds to us, to humans, not to them." Her voice cracked. "This is no alien ruin. This is ours." The words struck the team like thunder. Shock spread through them. If it was true, then humanity's history was far older and stranger than they had ever believed. They entered a great chamber, the ceiling lost in shadows. In the center stood a stone pedestal, its surface smooth like glass. Elias approached slowly, placing his hand on the surface. The pedestal pulsed with light, symbols racing across the walls. The entire ruin seemed to awaken. A low hum filled the air, deep and powerful. It vibrated through their bones. The soldiers raised their weapons instinctively, aiming into the shadows. The alien ally Varric snarled, "You have doomed us all." The ground split open around the pedestal. Dust and stone crumbled as a deep light rose from below. A voice, ancient and layered, echoed through the chamber. It was not human, yet the words were clear. "Children of the stars, you have returned." The team froze, every heart pounded in their chest. The soldiers exchanged fearful glances. Marin's face went pale. Elias gripped his rifle tighter, his voice steady though his heart raced. "Who speaks?" the voice rumbled. Again, the Watchers, the Forgotten, the ones who built before time, humanity. "Our legacy." The chamber shook violently. Cracks spread across the walls. Symbols burned brighter. The ruins were no longer silent, they were alive. The team stumbled back, fear rising. Yet Elias stood his ground. The alien ally Varric shouted, his voice sharp with panic, "This is your curse. This is why your kind should never have left Earth. You were not meant to find this." But Marin shook her head, her eyes wide with tears. "No, this is not a curse. This is truth. This changes everything." The ruins continued to hum. Symbols burned across the walls like fire. Images flickered, humans walking among the stars. Great fleets soaring across galaxies. Battles fought long before recorded history. And then silence, as if waiting. Elias looked at his team, his voice firm. whatever this is, we've uncovered something bigger than any war, bigger than any empire, humanity's past. Is not what we thought. The ruins pulsed one final time, and the voice whispered, "Softer now. Awaken, children. The stars remember you." The chamber fell silent. Dust settled. The team stood frozen. They had come as explorers, but they had uncovered something that would shake the galaxy, and in that moment, every one of them knew humanity's ancient past had returned, and nothing would ever be the same again. The chamber was silent again, but the silence no longer felt empty. It pressed down on them like a weight, every breath heavy. The glowing symbols still shimmered faintly on the walls, burning with meaning that none of them fully understood. Dr. Marin's hands shook as she scribbled notes onto her datapad. Her voice trembled. These markings, they are old, far older than any human civilization on Earth. Yet they match the symbols carved into the caves of early humanity, thousands of years apart, yet the same hand must have shaped them. Captain Elias paced slowly around the chamber, his rifle lowered but ready. His eyes studied every shadow. "Then this isn't alien. This is us." The words echoed among the soldiers. Some nodded with pride. Others looked uneasy. They had come expecting alien history, not to uncover their own. Varric, the reptilian ally, hissed loudly, his tail lashed against the ground. "You should not claim what you do not understand. My people speak of ruins like these. They bring only disaster. The ancients that walked before left them for a reason. Leave before you awaken the dead." Elias turned to him, his jaw tight. "We already awakened something. It spoke to us." Varric's yellow eyes narrowed. "And that is why you should flee. What speaks from the shadows never speaks for your good." But Marin shook her head, her voice stronger now. "No, this is not just shadows. It called us children of the stars. That means humanity once belonged here, these ruins. They are part of us." The soldiers exchanged glances, torn between fear and pride. Some looked at the glowing walls with awe, others with dread. The deeper halls called to them. The symbols pulsed faintly as if guiding their steps. Elias raised his hand. "We move forward. Stay sharp." They entered a narrow corridor. The walls covered with more writing. The air grew colder, and the faint hum of energy followed them like a heartbeat. The symbols shifted as their lamps touched them, lines moving and twisting until they formed words in human tongue. One soldier gasped. It's writing itself for us," the corridor whispered with sound. Faint voices brushing against their ears. Elias gripped his rifle tighter, scanning the darkness. "Stay focused. It's only the ruins, not ghosts." But the voices grew clearer the deeper they went. Words half-formed, phrases that made no sense. "You should not have come. The price was paid. The stars remember." Fear crept through the team. One soldier muttered, "This is wrong. We should go back." Another clutched his weapon tightly, eyes darting at every flicker of light. Varric bared his fangs, his voice sharp. "You hear it now, the warnings. They are not meant for me. They are meant for you. This place knows you, and it fears you." Marin stopped in front of a large wall. Her lamp revealed a mural carved deep into stone. It showed human figures, tall and proud, standing beside great machines. Above them burned the symbol of a sun, with many rays. Beneath, the same figures lay broken, crushed under shadows. Her lips parted. "It's a story, a rise and a fall. Humanity rose once, then was destroyed." Elias stepped closer, tracing the edges with his gauntlet. His voice was steady. "Then the question is, who destroyed them, and why?" The ruins groaned. As if answering, the ground vibrated, dust falling from the ceiling. A low hum echoed through the corridor. The symbols on the wall glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. Suddenly, the lights of their lamps flickered. One by one, they died, leaving only the glow of the ruins. The whispers turned into a chorus, voices layered on top of each other. "You are late," they said. "The stars waited, but you forgot." The soldiers stumbled back, panic rising. Some raised their rifles at the walls as if they could fight stone and echoes. Elias raised his hand sharply. "Hold your fire." Marin's voice shook. "It's not an attack. It's memory. The ruins are speaking to us." But Varric snarled, pressing his claws against the wall. "This is danger. You bring doom. Do you not see? This place does not welcome you. It warns you." The voices faded slowly, the glow dimming. Their lamps flickered back to life, but the fear lingered. Elias exhaled slowly, his eyes scanning the corridor. "We keep moving, whatever this is. It's waiting for us to see it. We came for answers. And we'll get them." Marin nodded, though her face was pale. "Then be ready, because every step forward means stepping deeper into a past humanity never knew, a past that was buried for a reason." The soldiers adjusted their gear, their faces tense. The air grew colder still. The ruins seemed alive, watching them with unseen eyes. At the end of the corridor, a massive doorway stood sealed, its surface covered in more of the strange human-like symbols. As they approached, the door pulsed faintly. A deep rumble shook the floor beneath them. The alien ally hissed again, backing away. "That door is not meant to be opened. It leads only to death." But Elias stepped forward, his hand brushing across the stone. The symbols flared to life under his touch. The door groaned as if awakening from long sleep. Dust fell in heavy sheets. The sound echoed like thunder. Behind them, the whispers rose again, almost mournful. "Children, do you truly wish to remember?" Elias clenched his jaw, staring at the door. His answer was quiet, but firm. "Yes." The ruins shuddered, and the sealed door began to open. The great door groaned as it slid open. Dust poured down in heavy clouds. The ground shook as though the ruins themselves resisted the intrusion. The human explorers raised their weapons, while their alien ally Varric hissed low, his scales bristling with fear. Beyond the door stretched a vast chamber, larger than any they had seen before. The walls curved upward into a dome. Glowing symbols spiraled across its surface like constellations. At the center stood a massive structure of metal and stone, shaped like a throne yet alive with faint energy. Captain Elias stepped forward cautiously, his rifle steady. "Stay close. Watch the shadows." Dr. Marin's eyes widened, her hands trembling as she pointed to the glowing lines. "These patterns. They map the galaxy, and here," she tapped one section, her voice trembling. "This is Earth." The soldiers gasped softly. Some leaned closer, unable to believe what they were seeing. Earth, carved into a ruin millions of light years away. Suddenly, the floor vibrated, symbols blazed with light, and the throne began to shift. Plates of stone and metal peeled back. Glowing cores pulsed like a beating heart. Then a figure rose slowly from the throne. It was massive, twice the height of a man. Its body forged of metal and crystal, its face smooth and expressionless. Yet when its eyes opened, light poured out like twin suns. The air filled with a voice, deep and layered, echoing through their bones. "You have returned," it said. "Children of the stars, heirs of the forgotten flame." The humans froze, weapons raised but hands shaking. Varric growled, stepping back. "I warned you. This is no discovery. It is a curse." But Elias did not retreat. He held his ground, his voice steady despite the weight pressing against his chest. "Who are you?" The construct tilted its head, light flickering across its frame. "I am the Guardian, keeper of memory, protector of the legacy left in ashes. I waited, I watched, until your kind would come again." Marin whispered, her voice filled with awe. "It recognizes us. It calls us its heirs." The Guardian's eyes flared brighter. "You are fragments of what was once whole. Your blood carries echoes of the first, those who ruled the stars." Before time was broken, the soldiers muttered nervously. Some whispered that this was madness. Others felt pride stir in their hearts. To hear that humanity had once ruled the stars was both terrifying and thrilling. Varric hissed loudly, his voice sharp. "Do not listen. It twists truth. Humans are young, weak, barely beyond their homeworld. This is poison meant to deceive you. The Guardian turned its burning gaze upon him. You, child of scales, do not belong. This memory is not yours. You stand here as witness, not heir. The reptilian snarled, but stepped back, fear flickering. In his eyes, Elias kept his weapon lowered, though his hand trembled. If what you say is true, then why did we forget? Why does humanity not know any of this? The Guardian's light dimmed slightly. Because the first fell, their arrogance shattered them. Their enemies broke them. Their memory was buried so their children would be free of their chains. But the stars remember. The stones remember. And now, so will you. The chamber grew colder. The ruins seemed alive, humming with power. The humans stood transfixed, torn between fear and wonder. Marin took a shaky step forward. If we are their children, then what do you want from us? The Guardian's voice thundered, shaking the air. Prove yourselves. Show that the fire still burns in your blood. Or be judged as unworthy. The symbols across the walls flared. A surge of energy swept through the chamber. The ground shifted, forming a circle of glowing light around the humans. The soldiers raised their rifles instinctively, aiming in every direction. "Captain," one soldier shouted, panic rising. "We're trapped." Elias raised his hand, his voice firm. "Hold your fire. This isn't an attack, it's a test." The Guardian extended its arms, energy flowing from its body. Images formed in the air, visions of battles long past. Fleets of ships burning across the void, humans standing tall against impossible odds. Then came images of collapse, worlds falling into silence, cities crumbling into dust, the voices of the ruins whispered again. "Children, will you rise or will you fall again?" The soldiers felt the weight of the visions pressing into their minds. Some dropped to their knees, gasping for breath. Others gritted their teeth, fighting the waves of memory. The alien ally clutched his head, snarling in pain. "This place will kill you." But Elias stood tall, sweat dripping from his brow. His voice cut through the storm, steady and unyielding. "We are not them. We are human, and we will not fall." The visions shattered like glass. The chamber fell silent once more. The Guardian lowered its arms, its eyes glowing with new fire. Then perhaps the fire still lives. Perhaps humanity has not been forgotten after all. Marin's face glowed with tears. She whispered, "This changes everything, if this is true." Then humanity was never small, never weak. We are more than even we believed. The Guardian's voice echoed one final time, softer now. "The past is not dead. It waits for you to claim it. But beware, the stars will tremble when they remember what you are." The chamber dimmed, the light fading back into the walls. The Guardian stood still once more, silent as stone. Yet its presence lingered, heavy and alive. Elias lowered his rifle slowly. His voice was quiet, but it carried strength. "We came for answers. Now we have them. Humanity's past is far greater than we knew, and the galaxy will never see us the same way again." The chamber was silent again, but no one could breathe easily. The Guardian had returned to stillness, its burning eyes closed, yet its words lingered in the air, heavier than the dust that drifted down from the cracked ceiling. Dr. Marin's hands shook as she scrolled through her datapad, scanning the recordings. "It called us the children of the first," she whispered. "It said we once ruled the stars, if that is true. Then humanity's story is not what we think it is." Captain Elias stood tall, but his jaw was tight. He stared at the Guardian, his mind racing. "If we once had power, then why did we lose it? Why bury it here? Why keep it hidden from us?" Alien ally Varric growled low, his tail lashing. "Because it is dangerous. Because no species should wield such pride. My people remember whispers of the first. We were told they destroyed themselves. The galaxy was freed only when they fell." The soldiers exchanged uneasy glances. Some felt a spark of pride in their chests. Others felt fear coil in their stomachs. At the far end of the chamber, a narrow passage revealed itself. The walls slid open slowly, as if answering their thoughts. A pale blue light spilled out. Elias raised his hand. We move. The corridor led them into a smaller hall lined with glass pillars. Each one glowed faintly, filled with streams of shifting light. Within them floated strands of code, symbols, and images of double helix shapes. Marin gasped, "Genetic archives." The soldiers stepped closer, their eyes wide. Inside one of the pillars, faint holograms flickered human figures, their faces sharp and proud. Their eyes glowed with the same fire as the Guardians. They looked almost like humans now, but more, stronger, more refined. Marin's voice trembled. "These are records of our ancestors. This proves it. Humanity did not begin on Earth. We were seeded, scattered across the stars long before history began," one soldier muttered, his voice thick with disbelief. "You're saying we're not native to Earth, that Earth wasn't our first home?" Marin nodded slowly. "Earth was only one colony, a place we fell back to after the collapse. We lost everything else, our fleets, our knowledge, our identity, and we forgot." Elias clenched his fists. His voice was low. "Forgotten or made to forget?" The Guardian's eyes flared open once more, though its body remained still. "Both," it said. "The first fell by their own pride and by the hands of their enemies. To protect their children, their memory was buried, their blood carried forward, but their past was locked away until now." The soldiers staggered back at the sound of the voice. Fear and awe mixed in their hearts. Varric hissed sharply, "Do you not see? This is proof that you are cursed. Your ancestors destroyed the stars. If this truth spreads, no empire will trust you. They will see humans as a threat to be crushed before you rise again." Elias turned on him, his voice steady and hard. "Or they will see us for what we are, survivors, stronger than any thought." The room trembled. The genetic archives flickered with images, great fleets of ships crossing galaxies, humans standing side by side with other species. Then flames, war, and silence. The light dimmed, leaving only the faint glow of the archives. Marin's face was pale, but her eyes burned with excitement. "This changes everything. Every human alive carries this legacy in their blood. We are not newcomers to the stars. We are returning to them," one soldier whispered, almost to himself. "Then we are not the youngest race. We are the oldest." But fear spread as quickly as pride. Another soldier shook his head. "If the galaxy learns of this, they will never allow us to rise. They will come for us. They will destroy Earth before we claim what is ours." The Guardian's voice rolled again. "That is the choice, children of the stars. To embrace your past is to embrace danger. To deny it is to remain small and safe. Choose." The silence that followed was sharp. The soldiers looked to Elias. Their leader's face was hard, his thoughts heavy. He knew the truth could make humanity great, but also place a target on their backs. Marin whispered, "Captain, this knowledge is too big to hide. If we turn away now, then everything we are will remain a lie." Varric snarled. "If you claim this past, you doom us all." The soldiers argued in hushed tones. Some wanted to preserve the secret, fearing destruction. Others wanted to embrace it, ready to risk everything. Elias raised his hand, silencing them. His voice was low, but carried through the hall. "We came here as explorers, and we found something greater than we imagined. This knowledge will not be hidden, not anymore, whatever comes. Humanity deserves to know the truth." The Guardian's eyes dimmed once more. The chamber grew silent. Only the archives glowed faintly, carrying the weight of an ancient truth, waiting to be unleashed. And as they stood in that hall, surrounded by echoes of the past, every one of them understood. The discovery had changed everything. Humanity's path was no longer the same, and the galaxy would soon tremble because of it.